Hey everyone, I wanted to go over some new and extremely exciting news that we have for Pikmin 4, as a massive new leak has kind of like pretty much appeared out of nowhere, not only confirming that there's going to be a brand new Pikmin type being added into the game. That's kind of expected though. You know, every Pikmin game always has a brand new Pikmin type. That's kind of a given, but of course we get to hear more details regarding that. And more importantly, we get to know a little bit more on what that night mode is, what the whole night mode activation is. This is something that we got to see in the reveal trailer, where they basically showcase teasing something happening in the night mode. And this is going to be pretty much not only a separate own thing, but also part of the story as well, which is really interesting. Now, there is a couple of caveats here. There are some details and even screenshots that were originally shared on Reddit. I cannot overlay that and share that here. Nintendo will quickly take down the video if I do that, so I'm going to try avoiding doing that. Instead, we're going to be getting some information from mynintendonews.com, link in the description below, for their article where they're kind of like summarizing everything that took place. So we're going to be looking at what their article simply seems to be suggesting. And for the record, when I talk about new Pikmin being added in, we're not talking about the Ice Pikmin. We're talking about another one being added on top of that as well. So simply put, the article simply says that a Reddit user seemingly leaks new Pikmin 4 information along with new screenshots. They mentioned at the top of the article that we haven't gotten too long to wait for Pikmin 4's release, as the final is set to release on July 21st. Today, new information has seemingly appeared on Reddit, which has presumably been posted by a play tester. The user reports that Pikmin 4 will feature 4 leaders as captains, and these are all named after dog breeds, with the name character Pom being specially named after the Spitz type breed, or Pomeranian. Pom will be available to play in the main game during the daytime and in-game where there are various cave systems. The other 3 Pikmin captains will be playable when it's nighttime in the game, with the gameplay being similar to Pikmin 3's challenge mode. When you control the 3 Pikmin leaders, who were Alf, Brittany, and Charlie, the Reddit user says that the nighttime mode will see players collect as many quote-unquote shooting stars as possible before the time runs out, usually about 5 minutes. As always, this is a rumor and nothing has been announced by Nintendo. Of course, they're reiterating the obvious, that this is just a leak and they take it as rumor. So before we continue with the rest of this information that they provided, there is a couple of things that I do want to quickly discuss. First and foremost, we know that there's going to be 4 leaders. That's pretty good. I believe in the teaser trailer, they kind of showcase a few of them. So, that's kind of expected. We also seen what some of them look like. It would be interesting to see some of the older ones returning, but that's kind of a given, whether they choose to do that or not. Oliver, of course, making an appearance in a cameo, even as a letter, which the letters are always funny in Pikmin. That would be a great way to go about it. Now, at the same time, their names being after dogs, maybe it's because they do have that new little Poochie looking, creature that you're going to be riding on, the little monster creature dog thing. Maybe that's the reason why they chose to do that, but I don't particularly put, all that big stock on that. That's kind of, that'd be a cute Nintendo thing, but that they would typically do, but I wouldn't, it's not a real big game changer there, so I'm not too concerned with that. What I do find more interesting here is the nighttime. So remember, Pikmin games, usually you're playing throughout the daytime. At nighttime, things get really dangerous on the surface of the world, whatever world you're playing on, whether it's Pikmin 1, 2, or 3, they all follow the same suit. And at nighttime, the creatures get very dangerous, very aggressive, and usually, of course, if you leave your Pikmin behind, which should never be, you should never be doing that whatsoever. It is cruel to do that. If you leave your Pikmin on the surface, they will be eaten. They will not appear the next day because, of course, creatures would just come and eat them up. So now they're actually letting you play, yes, in the daytime, most likely in the typical format you have been playing Pikmin games, as you are collecting fruit, you're discovering, secrets, you're getting items, bringing them back to the ship. But then at nighttime now, they're adding this, challenge mode section where it's kind of like the versus mode. I'm guessing you have to speed run kind of things, if you will. You have to do things a little bit faster, with the understanding that monsters are going to be more aggressive. That's kind of like something that the trailer suggests. But more importantly, because you're limited in some way or fashion, you're going to have to use the other captains to kind of like spread out through the map and do things in a more faster format. Definitely a harder, difficult mode is going to be highly anticipated with this new set of additions in the way that they're kind of treating the nighttime, if it does turn out to be true. Then they kind of put in quotations what the actual Reddit post originally shared. That I believe that Reddit post now has been taken down since then. So of course, usually when that happens, suggests that things are actually accurate. It mentions that the 4 captains will be named after dogs, just like the last mainline Pikmin game. These captains will have their own naming schemes. However, instead of code words like Alpha, Charlie, Brittany, and Delta, these new captains will be named after dog breeds, like the main character, the pink-haired captain being named Pom after the Pomeranian dog breed. Names aren't too exciting, I know. However, I know something about the gameplay mechanic of night mode. However, I plan to share that at a later date. He also mentions that, I also was asked if the orange one-eye Pikmin leak is real. And no, there is another new Pikmin type in this game, but it's not orange. Now, I don't necessarily know what they're talking about, a Pikmin, one-eye, orange Pikmin or not. I didn't necessarily see that leak, so I can't speak to that. But they are simply saying that that is not the case. We already know there's nice Pikmin, but they're alluding to another one after that. Later, they simply added to their post mentioning that to explain the night mode, it's like, first I have to explain what their main game is like. The main game, and in parentheses, daytime and caves, will be played by Pom, the pink-haired captain. The other 3 captains will be playable only at night. Their gameplay will be more like the Pikmin 3 challenge mode, where you can throw 3 captains at once. The goal of the nighttime mode is to collect as many shooting stars as possible before the time runs out, which is about 5 minutes. So that is pretty much the wording of their official post, which again has been taken down from Reddit since then. I believe earlier today I read an article where Nintendo is going after the leaker for the Zelda Tears of the Kingdoms like art book or whatever that was like posted on Discord, I believe, and then maybe shared through Reddit. So Nintendo's being very proactive about leaks and trying to squash them as best as possible. This is why I do not wish to add any sort of fuel to the fire and showcase any actual images that they decided to share in that original post for some of the captains. So that is why I'm choosing to do that. At the end of the day, though, whether all this information is true or not, I'm excited to play Pikmin 4. I already have it pre-ordered. I'm a big Pikmin fan. I'm a big supporter of the series. I wish they were a little bit more gritty and dark than like the first 2 games were. I believe the third one was a little bit too happy and go lucky. But the series has to appeal to everyone instead of just some people. So it is understood if they're trying to go after a mass appeal instead of just very sporadic people who might have actually not give it a true chance. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.